New year, new low. The latest Gallup poll showing Biden's rock bottom approval rating is now making history. At 39%, it's worse than any modern day president at the same stage of their first term.
This as Biden prepares for an election next year, with voters still worrying about the state of the country.
But you know whose approval rating is very, very high? Host of One Nation and Fox & Friends co-host Brian Kilmeade. Brian, Merry Christmas ahead of time. And we checked here, your approval ratings, 79%, up 4 from last year.
Fake news.
You're crushing it.
Fake news.
Right. Thank you. I'd just like to know, is Griff ad-libbing that, guys, or is that really true? Have you actually done a study?
It's actually in the packet. It's actually in the packet.
No.
It really? Okay. Well, all right. So I'm gonna say that it's a little low. I thought it would be a little bit higher. But for Joe Biden, let's be honest. I mean, what do you have to complain about when it comes to me? But for Joe Biden, it's clearly the economy. And guys, the crazy thing is he keeps running on it. Now, the numbers are totally discordant from the people, and I think they're stunned by it. And earlier in this week, around Tuesday, they came out and they said that, according to insiders, they're telling him, stop bringing up Bidenomics, stop telling everyone everything's getting better, say, I know where you're at. Well, I'm with you on this. Act like you're in it with him. Instead, he goes out and he does the same thing again. I'm doing so much better than the other guy. We know who it is. It is Donald Trump. You don't have to say the other guy. These guys that trickle-down economics. Donald Trump doesn't do trickle-down economics. Now, I just think it's, if you have been doing this for 50 years, you have to have people around you that says this is what the American people feel, and this is how we have to run. Evidently, he did something really interesting. He yelled at his people to get his ratings up. I'm like, okay, you are somewhat responsible for the fact that your ratings are low. How about you don't do any press conferences? He sits down with Conan O'Brien, which is fine, but just have a press conference with everybody else so you can ask some questions. And I'll tell you another thing, Will in particular. You know you can run for re-election as a president, and you could sit there and act to answer the questions of the day from the press, but use it to run for president. So you kind of, Obama did it, Bush was brilliant at it, Bill Clinton maybe the best at it. Obama used it to rip the future Republican opponent, and he decides, I'm just going to go on vacation. And that's why Republicans are so optimistic. He has a chance to work his way out of this, but yet he knows he can't.
You know, I was thinking about if the president of the United States is offered up, of course you're going to accept him as a guest. But if you're Conan O'Brien, you got to be a little insulted. Meaning, like, he does nothing. Joe Biden does nothing. And he said, I feel good about doing Conan. You know, I feel like I could come out of that with a win. I mean, I'd be a little insulted if I was the one guy that got the Joe Biden booking. Brian.
I would take it. Are you kidding?
Well,
I would do it.
And but you'd be like, why do you pick me?
Because I'm the easiest, right? I'm picking my opponent, and I'm picking the easiest. Yeah, I never thought about that. But, I mean, here's a guy who sits there and, you know, I think he's unbelievably talented. And he's got this great knowledge of history. And he was trying to lead Joe Biden through, let me show you personality. And I just think at 80 years old, it's just not there.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's all. We're trying to run clips.
Okay,
we can't find any.
So, if you could travel in time as well, answer this question. Would you rather interview Joe Biden as president or Teddy Roosevelt?
Well, what a brilliant transition, Dr. Sapphire and Will, if you want to take notes. Griff, thank you for that.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And for future hosts on this channel today, that's to do it. So tonight is going to be, in my slot of One Nation, we're going to do the hour special, Teddy and Booker T. Now, because of the war, obviously it didn't air a couple of weeks ago. But I just think for the last year I've been shooting this, and it's a chance to look at two great Americans at a very difficult time when we're talking about Jim Crow, we're talking about poll taxes and lynchings, and this guy emerges, Booker T. Washington and Teddy Roosevelt, and they just saw a way to partner and make the country better. Here's a little of the special. Watch.
As the leader of the free world, TR wasted little time aligning himself with this fellow self-made man.
He was made the special advisor to the president on Negro affairs, and he helped the president and other states to create other HBCUs around the country. They were all the product of this kind of help or attention that Booker T drew to the president.
Well, and Brian, you know,
that's just. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you go and you continue to do these Teddy and Booker T book tours. That I just want to know, how can I get a role in one of these reenactments?
If you go to Joliet, Illinois, I'm putting Dr. Sapphire, I'm going to put you in. We used a very pregnant Carly Shimkus in a very creative way. We had Rachel Campos Duffy as the Flying Nun. Well, I had the Flying Nun outfit. And we used various other Fox personalities in key roles, including Pete Hegseth. So we go through time and we try to reenact in a fun way moments in American history, and we create a live audience event. The question is, I'm going to audition Will and Griff. Dr. Sapphire, you could do anything. You've already proven it. But I just got to see the acting skills of Griff and Will to see if I could pack you up and bring you to Joliet, Illinois on the 21st at 2 in the afternoon.
It sounds good. Let's do it. I'm terrible at acting.
I'd crush it.
Are you good at crushing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Brian.
And be
Merry
sure.
Christmas.
All right, guys.
All right, remember that Teddy and Booker's.
Back at you. Have a great show.
We will. As you will tonight, that special airs on the Fox News Channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.